Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Welcome to Just Cuisine Kitchen, where we are all about food and fun. We do food and restaurant reviews, we do food games and other exciting games, and we also do lots and lots of recipe. If this is your kind of content, kindly subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. And to my premier gang, to my returning viewers, you guys are the best. May God bless you for me. So, in today's video, we're going to come up with a menu for the week. So, let's do this. Hi guys, so we are starting off on our process of coming up with a weekly menu plan. So, let's do this. So we are going to write a few notes because I'll be coming up with my menu as I share the ideas with you. I'm going to use my front camera so that we can engage. So the first step is create a list of trusted recipes. How do you come up with a list of trusted recipes? First, you can always discover recipes from maybe YouTube. We have a few recipes on Just World and Just Cuisine Kitchen channels. And of course, there are so many YouTubers who do recipes. You can check them out. That is one way. That is from online. That's one idea. The next thing is you need to check the items that are already made in the fridge. What do I mean by that? You check out your leftovers, okay, because you'll need to establish as to, maybe you don't even need to cook for 2 days. You can start maybe after the third day. The other thing is engage your family on coming up with the menu. These are the people who are going to eat, so they need to contribute. But you see, sometimes it becomes difficult when you ask your people what they want to have for dinner and they tell you, just cook anything. Then when you cook something, they tell you, no, we would have preferred something else. But I asked you, so why didn't you contribute? So in any case, you can always engage them. If they share, well and good. If they don't, you come up with your menu. The next thing is you need to sort out your proteins. If you have proteins in the house, you need to know which ones you have. Maybe you can be having meat-based or cereal-based. Some people don't like cereals much. So as much as maybe you can have lots and lots of cereals, maybe you can drop in one day a meat protein, and that will help you ease the burden of first having a very high cost of your meals, and also ensuring that at least you get some meat, even if it is once a week, depending on your budget. Although I know most people who cannot eat food without meat. Personally, I can eat even for a whole month without meat. I think maybe I wanted to become a vegetarian, but it doesn't work because, again, I think it's always easier to cook meat than to cook you see, meat you'll just come and put in the pot. If it is cereals, like for instance black beans, and if you have not checked out our black beans recipe, please check it out. Black beans, you have to take time, first boil, first prepare and all that. Well, if it's meat, you just put in the pot and you're ready to cook. When it comes to meat, we are always advised to try and alternate. You can't eat beef forever. Maybe it's the most affordable, but maybe you can chip in maybe some chicken. Sometimes you can have even goat, whatever, just a different flavor of beef, sorry, not beef but meat, so that you can just have a mix of whatever you have. Yeah, so we go to step number 3. The next thing is make 2 lists. When you're making 2 lists, you can divide your book into 2. On one side, you're going to put the meals that you intend to serve. On the other side, you're going to put the ingredients that you'll require to be able to cook that food. For instance, if you want a beef stew, you need to have beef, you need to have tomatoes, you need onions. You just list everything that you need. The only thing is you cannot list onions for each and every day, and you cannot list tomatoes for each and every day. So you will consolidate your consumption for such things which are common in every meal. I hope I'm making sense. So the next point is figure out what you already have. So number 4 is check in your pantry or your cabinets what you already have. So from your list up there, you have listed maybe roti. Roti is chapatis for Kenyans. Maybe you have listed ugali. So you need maize flour. So from the list that you come up with at level 3, then it will help you decide. It will help you check what you already have. For instance, if we said ugali for 2 days, then we need to check how much maize flour we have. Then we need to check if it is roti, aka chapati. Then we need to know how much all-purpose flour that we have or we have in store, so that we know whether we need to top up. The next thing, and the list continues. That is for the dry ingredients. The next thing, you're going to give a tour of your fridge and just check through what you have and what you don't have. So in our next video, we are going to do a full tour of our fridge. It's not going to be a tour to show my fridge. It will be a tour to review what we need to be able to, what is it called? It will be a tour to the fridge to check, 1, what is spoiled, because sometimes we forget food in the fridge and it goes bad, and then the only time we realize is when we are doing just a refresh. I think I would call it a refresh, not a tour. So let's do away with the word tour. So we are going to do a refresh. We check what has overstayed in the fridge, what needs to be thrown away, what needs to be utilized before the next loading. And also at this point is where you check whether you actually need to cook for the next few days. And the other thing, when you're checking, you also need to check in the freezer whether you have all the needs you require, all the ingredients you require from your list. So once you have the list, you will be able to now go down and check from the freezer. For instance, we said you might need meat. So what kind of meat is in the freezer? Can we make do with what is in the freezer, or do we really have to shop for something else? Okay? Yeah, so that's that. At this point is when you'll be able to decide to make do with what you have. For instance, you could have said in your recipe that you're going to in your list that you're going to make beef. Okay, but then when it comes to the meat in the freezer, you have chicken. So why should you buy another meat when you already have chicken? So at this point, you can substitute the ingredients that are available with what you had listed on your list. The next thing will be, you have basically, if you do the 4 steps, you will have come up with a complete menu. So you need to communicate to the family members. I don't know if this is something that happens in your house, but as parents, do you make decisions without even involving the children? Like I said earlier, you'll find maybe someone will say, even if I communicate to them, they are not going to contribute towards the menu. But at least you will have communicated, and they will feel like they have an opportunity to give their own input to the family. So as much as they will not give you feedback, at least they'll be able to know that they are valued. And the next thing now, at this point, when you now communicate to the family, you may decide to stick it somewhere. So the next time someone asks, what's for dinner? You point to the list. Okay? Yeah, so displaying the menu really helps you even as you plan, because you will always have it in mind. And once you develop this list of your menu plus the ingredients, it's going to be making your work easy, because if you want to keep changing on a weekly basis, you can always substitute, but at least you have a basis to start. The last thing is sticking to the menu. You see, you have come up with the menu so that it can help you in your planning. So the best thing you can do is to stick to the menu. Of course, you're not constrained into making changes here and there, but at least once you stick to the menu, especially for that particular week, you will be able now to keep changing as time goes. You can't again say, if it is on Tuesday and it's a day for beef, we will just be having beef. That will not work. I think it will just be boring. You can decide to be rotating different meals at different times. If maybe today you have had beef, maybe the next time you can have chicken. Maybe you can have pork. Maybe the next time you can have goat. And the list is endless. If you have maybe the beans, there are so many variety of beans that you can sample out. I shared a video on, I think you will see it in my next video. There are those butter beans that are not very common, because even when I go to the market, I don't see them. But surprisingly, they really jazzed me. I like them. I don't like beans, but those ones I like them. Maybe it's because I've not eaten them a lot, perhaps. Yeah, but it's really helpful. So maybe I can highlight a few things on why it is important to come up with a menu. 1, it will save you money, because you'll have a shopping list. You'll not just randomly pick things and then you just come and pack up things in the house that you're not using. Maybe every other month, every other week, you're shopping something and you don't use. Once it's on your list, then you'll end up using it. The next thing, it reduces stress when you're planning for your meals. If you know Monday is beef and rice, you just go ahead and cook your beef and rice. Yeah. So the next thing is, it saves you time and decision making. Imagine if every day you have to think and figure out that what are we having for dinner. It will be a boring routine, because sometimes you'll find yourself cooking the same thing every other day. And of course, key is that it will help you eat better, because once you have a menu, most likely you'll be conscious about a balanced diet when you're coming up with your menu. I think that's it for this video. If it is helpful, please comment down below. If you already implemented the things that we're talking about, also comment down below. We also like to get feedback as to how someone else is doing it, so that we can also impress it at our house. I mean, we are here to learn from each other. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you have watched this far, thank you so much. I really appreciate. Please continue supporting us. So thank you and see you on our next one. But before we go, if you're new to this channel, kindly consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. Remember, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and that if you find us worthy of your subscription, kindly hit the subscription button down below and the bell next to it so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. See you on our next one. Bye.
To keep me clean.